here in Louisiana. But I think that being traveled and having gone out and seen, it helped me to see some unique solutions that maybe we weren't thinking of here. And as I lived here longer and longer, I saw that we are a community here in Houma, Terrebonne, that is about to break to the next level, in my opinion. You know, we're really growing. This isn't the same Houma Terrebonne from when I was 5 years old. I mean, we've got 120,000 people almost that live and thrive here, and we have a very solid economy. And I saw that I maybe could bring some things to that. I'll tell you, why did I run for political office? I'm not really sure, except for I really thought I could make a difference. I was tired of living in the most beautiful place in the world, in my opinion, but having no opportunities to show my kids. No parks, no green spaces, no ability to show my kids what a wonderful place we work unless I go buy a boat or go pay someone else to bring me out there. And that became increasingly frustrating to me, that we just do such a poor job of showing off what's so naturally wonderful about this place. Very few walking parks that have any type of vegetation, very few parks, very few green spaces, and these things are essential. You know, recreation is not just something you do for fun to waste time. Recreation is a time when you spend time with the most important people in your life. You know, work is great, but you know, whenever you're laying on your deathbed, I don't know many people who say, "Boy, I just wish I would have worked more 50-hour weeks." They wish that they had spent more time out in nature with their kids. I mean, this is what we want to do, and we have such a beautiful opportunity to do that here. But we've done kind of a poor job of giving our citizens and people who visit opportunities to enjoy that. And so I think probably that would be the thing. As I came back and I was poor, right out of college, very young family, started having kids. We had our first kid right out of college, and I couldn't find anything free to do with them. Everything cost so much money, and here I was in the most beautiful place on the earth and not able to enjoy it.
Now, the Terrebonne Parish council people serve 4 years.
Correct.
Your first year is not going to be a 4-year term. You actually came to office in 2009. Everyone else came to office a year prior to that in 2008. Why is that?
Well, the reason was that Leland Robichaux had run with the council that I serve on now, and you know, sadly he passed away. I had thought about maybe running in that election, but met Leland, and he just was a great guy. I just really wanted to support him. Sometimes you don't run because there's just a better candidate out there, and it's not you. And so I didn't run. And when I didn't run, I said, you know, I really like Leland, but I think it's time for Houma and Terrebonne to have a fresh face. I didn't see a lot of people my age getting involved, and I'll tell you, it's very easy to understand why, because the personal reward for what you do at the political level, especially at the local level, is minimal. I mean, really, the personal reward is almost non-existent. If anything, it's harder than it is rewarding. Now, when you talk about the reward of really helping and making an impact for everybody, there's a lot of great feelings there. But you know, most younger people are really more worried about working more hours, putting more food on the table, buying a better car or better house. But I thought, you know, we really needed that influx of young, new ideas. We can't just have the same people with the same ideas all the time. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. And it was time for Terrebonne to get something different. So I was able and blessed to be able to step in and finish Mr. Robichaux's term, and I'm very grateful to be able to do it. Although I think he represented us incredibly well. In just 1 year, he added tremendous amounts of zoning, never missed a meeting despite, you know, I saw my grandfather who passed from cancer very recently, saw what chemotherapy did to him. Despite all of his treatments, Leland never missed a meeting, which is amazing to me. So he's a real dedicated guy, and I'm really honored to finish his stint.
How many people ran for the position that Leland left vacant, and how did you finish?
Well, there was 3 of us that ran, Al Batto, Steve Robichaux, and myself. It came down to a runoff between me and Steve, and just squeaked out. It was a 16-vote margin. It wasn't a very large margin. In fact, it was so small that you know, you have to add the number. You're always adding the numbers at the end of an election. We added them about 10 times to make sure we hadn't made a mistake. and I was really happy. There weren't any bad candidates in the runoff. Steve was a good competitor, and we kept things clean, and Terrebonne would have been well served either way. I'm very glad to have been able to have the opportunity, though, and to have the opportunity now to really push things forward.
Now, prior to this interview, we were talking briefly, and we were talking about your children. Actually, you became teary-eyed when we started talking about your children. I know that being a father is a very important aspect of your life. We're going to talk a little bit about your personal life when we get back, and also your future political ambitions. Stay with us on Interview with Mike Billiot.
It's probably 'cause you think you're cooler than me.